The year is 1996, and Nintendo has changed everything with their genre-defining and boundary-breaking Super Mario 64, a game that not only translated 2D platformers into 3D, but also brought gaming into the future. While the Nintendo 64 wasn't perfect with its odd controller and its reliance on cartridges when competitors Sega and Sony had moved to discs, there was no rulebook. 3D gaming was the Wild West, and there were no wrong answers. Super Mario 64 releases to critical acclaim, commercial success, and cements 3D platformers in the cultural zeitgeist. Flash forward, the year is now 2001. Games don't look like this anymore, they look like this. The launch of the PlayStation 2, the death of Sega, and the introduction of Microsoft into the gaming space not only shook up the market, but also created rapid innovations in the space. Sony's DualShock popularized the two-handed controller, and with Nintendo's launch of the GameCube, they went away with the three-handed controller. The GameCube was home to many innovations, like having a handle on the back and having a really small disc, and their Super Mario 64 successor was no stranger to change. Where do you go from perfect? How about putting a water gun on Mario's back? Super Mario Sunshine is without a doubt the most controversial Mario game ever released. A lot of people love it and a lot of people hate it. I'm definitely on the love it side. Growing up, I was a GameCube kid and this was my Mario game. Unlike other GameCube gems that are just held up by nostalgia, when I replayed Sunshine recently, I felt exactly how I did when I played it in the 2000s. It's so out of the box with its weird enemies and the piantas and Isle Delfino in ways that still make it stand out today. At the center of Mario Sunshine is Flood, Mario's water gun jetpack. And while many criticize the addition, I think it adds a whole new layer to the platforming that made Mario 64 so great. In a similar way to how Cappy expanded Mario's moveset so much in Odyssey, being able to get extra height with the jetpack or run across water or rocket jump changes how you think about puzzle solving in Sunshine. And while it can be a crutch at times, losing Flood during the game's many secret levels lead to some of the hardest and most satisfying Mario platforming levels ever. So I think the mechanics introduced here are great, but all of that is worthless without amazing locales and levels. And I think that Super Mario Sunshine has some of the best level design and ideas of the entire franchise. Some of the most iconic areas come from the game, like Pinna Park and Rico Harbor and Bianco Hills, and the shine sprites in them create amazing scenarios to explore the levels through. Playing the roller coaster level in Pinna Park was one of my favorite gaming memories as a kid, and going back to it today still holds up. I think part of the reason why Super Mario Sunshine stands out so much is because of how much Mario iconography it ditches in favor for new ideas, new characters, and new experiences. That's not to say it doesn't feel like a Mario game. Hallmarks like Bowser and Yoshi and coins are still there, but the addition of characters like the piantas and these guys that flip you around, and then the introductions of mainstays like Bowser Jr. make the creativity behind Sunshine stand out. It's not a perfect game. There's stuff people hate in here, like the lily pad level, where you have to drive around this platform with Flood while you collect red coins, or this pachinko level that has literally no strategy and is just RNG, but the core of Super Mario Sunshine is just fantastic. And while Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 are both fantastic games, we wouldn't get another true Mario 64-like 3D game until 2017's Odyssey. The GameCube era was a time of figuring out what gaming was going to look like in the future. Along with the dramatic leap in graphics, Nintendo letting players freely use the camera in games like Sunshine and Wind Waker created a sense of freedom we hadn't seen in these series previously. The GameCube as a whole received mixed responses from critics and fans, and the PlayStation 2 undoubtedly won the generation, but its exclusives and that trademark out-of-the-box Nintendo thinking made it something that's revered today. Where many of the games from this generation are dated, games like Super Smash Bros. Melee are still played today on original hardware, and Sunshine's no different. In my opinion, it's a timeless classic that's still underappreciated to this day, and while graphics have improved and better Mario games have been released since, I'll always adore Sunshine. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you liked the video, hit the like button, and let me know down in the comments what your favorite level from Mario Sunshine is. I'll see you in the next video.